Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan. The topic of this 10-minute moan is SNP, who promised us 18 years ago they were going to abolish council tax, and now they're saying they're just going to make it fairer, right? So this goes back to 2007 when they promised to overhaul local taxation system. But since then, all they've really done is imposed council tax freezes. But that's now getting abandoned as well, because what's happened is the 32 councils in Scotland have all become almost bankrupt after, through no consideration or consultation with them, they made knee-jerk reaction things like we're just going to freeze council tax. Now the councils, unfortunately, as a money machine, need fed. Now whether they're spending the money wisely and getting best value remains to be seen, but it still needs money. So when you tighten the belt and say you're not getting any more money, things kind of need to go. But I think the whole thing needs overhauled, and it's not really how much we take off people, it's how we spend the money that we take off people that's more important to me. But the funny thing for me is, I remember it well, the billboards saying we were going to scrap this unfair council tax. Now, a lot of people thought, well, that's great, that'll save us money. Not realising, but what they really meant was, we'll just come up with something different, right? Because that's what SNP do. They kind of tell us we're getting stuff free, but it just costs us in the long run and other things, like free prescriptions. We can't buy drugs free. So somebody's paying for it. So we just need to pay for it in some other way, some other tax or some other service gets cut. That's kind of how things work, with everything that you get free off the SNP. But anyway, Shona Robinson today said that the ministers would work with local authority chiefs to build a local taxation system that's fairer, financially sustainable and fits a modern Scotland. But not telling us what they're going to do. Opposition have been saying now that you've actually achieved nothing in 18 years on this tax, and they're kind of, well, that's true, right? It's 100% true. Labour MP for Dunfermline, Graham Downey, said the SNP have had 17 years to do this and achieved precisely nothing. In fact, they made it worse with freezes that only hampered local services and for no progress whatsoever on actually reforming council tax. Good point, although your party really shouldn't be giving anybody any bother about how to run a country after the mess you've made of one in about 7 months. But it looks as if this year we're going to be paying an extra 10% in council tax, but everybody's telling us that it's an unfair system. So why is it taking 18 years? Now Robinson's saying we'll be partnering with COSLA. We want to examine ways to make council tax fairer, which will help to continue to deliver public services across Scotland. It there's only a few ways you can actually do it. You either do it in the value of the house, which we've done for a while, but people are complaining, like Oxfam Scotland, who I can't figure out why they're getting involved in a council tax discussion. However, they're saying, and they point out, that the last time houses were valued was 30 years ago. So you might be, doing somebody unfairly. So if that's all you're going to do, you're still going to have a council tax, just realign the values of each house, then nothing really changes. So you could do it with that, you could do it with the size of the property, the income of the people in it, the amount of people in it. But at the end of the day, you're still going to get taxed. And all that will happen is, if we even change the parameters, we'll just make another group of people unhappy than the people that are maybe moaning that theirs is too much just now. So it's just wooden dollars, it's just shuffling the deck about. Where the wise thing they would be doing, especially after 18 years of being able to do this, is get under the bonnet of the local councils and say, where are you spending your money? Are we getting best value? And that way, we might not need to look at ways of putting taxes up continuously, year on year, after 18 years. But this to me just highlights what the SNP are, and they're certainly not a governing party. They don't know how to do it. There's nothing that they win on. They fail on everything they touch, whether that's gender recognition, named person, the return bottle scheme, building ferries, everything. The hate crime, everything, the offensive behaviour at football, they've brought that in and they've scrapped it in the time that they've had power. So they're not very good at actually governing a country. They don't kind of get it. And all they do is they throw up headlines, policies that are sort of either virtue signalling or just attention seeking, to go, look at us. They'd probably be better saying, you know what, we'll just stick to being activists, right? We'll get a wee gang of people that will push for independence because two things. One, they're really, really poor at governing. And two, in 18 years that they've got it, they couldn't even get themselves independence. You could argue that they're further away today on the question of independence than they were 11 years ago when we had the referendum. I mean, that's kind of the only point of the party. So they'd probably be better sticking to being activists and leave governing countries to big boys, adults, people that can kind of sort stuff out. The A9, there's another one. You know, we've got the worst drug deaths, we'll get the worst alcohol. You bring in minimum unit pricing thinking that'll solve all your ills of the alcohol problems we have in the country. It's get worse, right? You're rotting at it. So stop trying to play politics and just stick to activism. If you really want to get independence, away and just be activists for it, because you can't achieve it when you're in government. So what's the actual point? And some people have been saying recently, but we don't have the devolved powers that we need to do make Scotland magic, and I kind of don't buy into that at all. I think what we should do, whether you're a unionist, a separatist, or I don't really care, in the middle, the best for everybody would be to get the book of devolved powers, wring it dry, and squeeze every single last power out of it. Don't use that book of powers. Abuse the book of powers to make Scotland better for the people that live here. But no, you want to go, well, we can't make Scotland better because we don't have enough powers. So do you know what? There's your devolved powers. If you can't use them, then the big question is, what's the point in Holyrood? You're rotten. Get out. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, please. If you've not already done so, please hit the subscribe and the notification bell. Comments below and your opinions below, always like them. They're great, thank you. But most importantly of all, unless you're the type of people who have been in power for 18 years, keep blaming everybody else for your ills, say that you've not got enough powers, but yet still turn up at your work every day and think you can change the world, right? No you, but everyone else. Have a great day. Cheery bye now.